I think if we're not careful, the far left might take the wrong lesson from the spread of anti-wokeness. I know most people here are far too polite to do this to my face, but I realize that some of you might be rolling your eyes because, yes, of course, MAGA communism and the American Communist Party and the red fascism, Strasserist people, no one takes them seriously. No one should. They aren't serious. But that's the thing. I'm not talking about them. Sexism has always been a more insidious form of oppression. It is one that is hard to pin down, and it infests the deepest parts of our minds. It is often unspoken, even when its results are clear as day. I agree that it is rare for people on the far left to openly reject feminism, but the thing is, they don't need to. The status quo is not feminism, not even on the far left. The status quo on the far left is tokenism and giving lip service to these issues, seeing feminism as a burden or something to perform to keep the peace with half the working class, letting things slide, assuming close to equal is good enough. Now, you might debate with your family openly when it comes to political things. It's easy when it's abstract, but do you talk to them about how they treat their partners and coworkers and friends? Do you examine how you treat the women in your life? That's a little more difficult, isn't it? Because if you can organize a union, but you can't bring yourself to do the dishes, or you have to constantly be asked to do your part at home, how can you say that you're truly dedicated to equality? As much as we critique liberals for all of this, it isn't exactly a secret that it's a problem on the far left too. And not just with feminism. If you don't think this is a problem, take a look around you. Look at the people you organize with and at your meetings. Does this represent the working class? For the people that aren't there, but would like to be there, could you accommodate them? Do you know why they're not there? Do they tell you? Do you ask? The rise of the far right has come from exploiting working people's grievances because things are obviously not all that great for working people right now. And the owning class knows they definitely don't want working people to start blaming the wealthy for the way things are. So they divide us against each other. They work to undo the progress we've made towards equality. They point to programs like DEI and either imply or directly state that the reason white working class men are struggling is because everybody else has taken their jobs and has an unfair advantage. It's divide and conquer. Of course, gay, queer, trans people, they're going to be on the front line. That's who Gavin Newsom chose to throw under the bus. I spoke about this in a different video. But of course, immigrants will soon follow. It's not as if the Democrats weren't always funding ICE and mass deportation. And of course, you know racism is going to be in there. I mean, this is America after all. It is our foundation. It's in our DNA. The housing crisis was essentially a huge wealth transfer from Black and Latino families to rich white guys. And this isn't a conspiracy. It doesn't need to be. It's just how it naturally works without intervention. The attack on women is a bit more subtle, personal. It doesn't make as many headlines. Some of us see the women that are dying because of abortion rules, but most of it flies under the radar. Women took the brunt of caregiving after COVID. It pushed many women out of the workforce. Women were, for a short period of time, the majority of the U.S. workforce. And of course, the cost of childcare will disproportionately hurt women. And from what I've seen about the plan for 2026, women are the primary target. They are gaining power by appealing to men's grievances. And yes, of course, it's reactionary hogwash. This is a male loneliness epidemic where their primary complaint is that women are trying to be their friends, that they're in the friend zone, yet they're lonely. And their unifying slogan is not all men, while every topic of every dating advice and alpha male podcast and online forum is how it really is, yes, all women, isn't even entirely self-afflicted. You better believe that the far right was investing heavily into recruiting after Gamergate, and just recently the Daily Wire was pouring money into the anti-Amber Heard campaign because they know it's prime real estate to recruit alienated single men who have never been given the emotional tools to deal with their problems or form healthy relationships, who are likely bitter about a breakup or rejection, and they do not want these men looking to those with wealth and power as the source of their economic problems. They do not want them questioning patriarchy and all the ways it set them up for these problems, and they do not want them finding healthy outlets or relationships or community. They need to build this false consciousness where they are blaming women rather than the owning class. They want them alone, they want them confused, and most of all, they want them very, very angry. And of course, most don't go down this rabbit hole, but many do, many on the left too. If you think that these ideas haven't infiltrated our spaces, I guarantee you they have. And even though the most reactionary and radical views don't make up a huge portion of men, these ideas have still drastically affected the narrative. And the sad truth is, I know it's always the same men who support me and react to this. I appreciate you so much, I really do. But you can't keep pulling all the weight. Don't forget that one of the most important things you can do isn't to help women, but to mentor other men, because we need more men like you. And I hope this video might actually appeal to men who aren't as active in learning and contributing towards women's liberation, to think about patriarchy and the way it hurts them, and to get more involved in feminism and realize that every struggle against oppression is part of class struggle, not a distraction from it. And it is the only way we're going to build a mass movement, because most Americans do not have class consciousness, and when they think of oppression, they do not think of it in terms of class. Therefore, if we expect to appeal to working Americans using class consciousness, we're putting the cart before the horse. We have to address people where they're coming from and with the ways they understand oppression. And I have to stress, you cannot expect women to be giving these men a healthy version of masculinity. It is men, and it is men on the far left that have to do this. They're not going to listen to us, because the first thing they teach them is never listen to women. They tell them that we lie. They tell them women don't know what they're talking about. They tell them women are crazy, that we are evil. And I'll be damned if that doesn't make it easy for them to not notice when we're not allowed to talk or simply not around anymore. And by that time, it's going to be too late.